Well, some of you might be wondering what happened to the DJs on Alt 1059. And then what happened to the alternative music on Alt 1059? We wondered too. Aloha, everybody. My name's Haz-Matt, and welcome to the ALTcast. What is the ALTcast? Well, after we all lost our jobs on radio, the jocks got together and decided that, hey, we should have a conversation. Let's get back together. We miss hanging out, we miss talking, and we've got some dirty laundry to air. Not that much, really, but we all did want to at least say a proper goodbye. So, my apologies on the video quality for this. We did this via Zoom because of the quarantine, so the video is not amazing, and the sound quality is... Look, whatever, just enjoy it, alright? This is me speaking with O-Dogg, with Endo, with 720, and with Shawn Garnett. Welcome to the ALTcast.
Okay. All right, we are hereby recording. Woohoo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the debut farewell of the Alt podcast. How's it going, everybody?
What is it?
It's like Krasinski-esque. Yes.
What up? Could we? I forgot to bust out the markers for a little handmade sign right here. That would have been.
Oh wait, are you gonna do the point thing with your pen and then?
Yeah. Oh.
Laser pointer.
Oh god. I know what the double meaning of that is. That's what pisses me off about that so much, O-Dogg. Is we worked with this dude named. I'm not even gonna give him a. No, I'm not even gonna talk about him. He's that horrible. I don't. Yeah. I'm not looking to bring up a bunch of ill will right now. But
we don't need that. We don't need that right now.
Nope.
Use some chopstick. Point chopstick.
All right, so let's go through it real quick in case anybody out there has forgotten. Hi, my name's Haz-Matt.
I forgot we were doing this.
Oh yeah, hey, hey. What's my name again? Hey.
Are we going in on-air order? Is that what it's going to be?
All right, yeah. Well,
Sure.
I invited Ramona, but I did not see her join in, so I guess we're skipping to afternoons.
All right, well, it's O-Dogg here, yeah. And let's go to nights then.
Hi, Endo. This is what I actually look like. Nobody ever sees me.
That's if we do the video for this. I don't know, like.
Oh, sure,
Yeah, no,
right.
we're
Yeah. It's a big assumption.
It's the audio podcast is what I look like. I'm glad
We
you can
will
hear what I look
continue
like.
to have our face for radio.
Excellent.
All right, and fill-ins as well as weekends. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's
Shawn.
up, man?
Ew.
And
Go
then,
ahead, 720.
And
Go
I'm
ahead.
720, the weekend warrior guy. What's up?
Very cool.
And Mixer.
And Mixer, yes. Mixer
And
guy
Mix
too.
shows. Yeah.
Mixer guy too.
Now that's your background, isn't it? Like, did you start? You got into radio through DJing? Is that what it was?
Oh yeah, that's how it was. Was
Yeah.
just to be a DJ, just to be an on-air mixer, and then Cool E and Potato brought me in to do production assistant work. They taught me all the little things that nobody else wanted to do back then. So dubbing
that's
a tape.
always the back door for radio is what's the
This
most
guy.
horrible crap that no one wants to do? Let's
Right.
bring you in
Yeah.
here.
Putting
What
commercials
don't-
back to back.
What don't I want to do? And
Piggyback
what can
it.
I delegate? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
have anybody to delegate? Let's find somebody.
Let's find somebody, and that was me. I was that guy for years.
We'll offer someone a
Years.
career in this.
Yeah. I think only recently I stopped doing all the prep service before they automated. I was the guy doing prep service for all
God,
these years.
was it did you at least have files that you could just marry, or is it rip it off of a CD? That's the way it was when I started.
Oh no, I had to download
yeah.
every email.
Yeah.
Every email I had to go through and download it and then upload everything, what happened, and cart numbers and blah, blah, blah.
You see, Matt, you didn't start when I started, when we had to transfer all the reel-to-reel stuff to digital.
Oh.
I want to tell you the story about reel to reel. When I was brought in first to do production, it was right at the start of the digital time. I was my first day was Cinco de Mayo of 2001. So I got sat down by Afun, who was the production director at the time.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, let me show you how to do this just in case you get anything, because every now and then it will still happen, reel to reel. So he puts one on, and he's like, you wind it here, and you wind it through this, and you wind it through that, and you do it all this, and blah, blah. He sets
Like
this
the
whole thing up.
1950s.
And he just goes, oh, and by the way, everybody, language. But he sets the whole thing up, and he's like, okay, so that's how you set it up, and then you just hit this button. And he hits the button, and it goes, boom, and the whole thing just explodes, and there's tape everywhere. And he stops there, and he just has this grim look on his face, and he goes, fuck this machine, you'll never use it again. Let's move on. And that's it. That was the most experience I ever had with Reel to Reel.
On Reel to Reel, everybody.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Man.
No, I had to splice them. So I had to sit
the
there
razor
tape
blades and the
guess-
tape?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
And guess where it was? It was. I hate that thing so bad.
Oh,
I got good at it, but I hate that thing.
I'm so glad I came in when I came in. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Me too.
When
gonna lie.
there were less reasons to have a razor blade in the studio.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow.
No, let's go. Let's air some dirty laundry. We have to air some of the dirty laundry.
You know, when the studios look like porta potties, that's how big they were, right? Everybody's packed in like that. Grab your
Yeah.
mic, you know.
Oh yeah.
All I
Oh,
know
here.
is the alt studio was the coldest. And when I worked in Paina was the worst. Like they never cared about us. They would come in maybe a month and be like, oh, you guys, air conditioning's not working? Oh, okay. And then they would leave.
Yeah.
There'd
And it'd
be
be like
three
5
of the
months
maintenance
after
people
that.
would come in and just go
What-
on an
Yeah.
ice
And
cube,
we're
and
like,
they'd be like, all right, done.
What's going on with the AC? It's like, oh yeah, we'll check it later. It's like you checked it like a month ago.
Still not working.
All
But I
right, so
will
here's
say
some-
this: the alt studio, beside being the coldest, which I was very happy about, was the cleanest. Thank you,
Oh.
O-Dogg, for that.
Yes.
It was clean.
Yeah.
I was ahead
Blessedly
of the
so.
pandemic. I was ahead of
As soon as the news of that started to go, I was like, we're already loaded with Lysol. This is great.
We're good. We're good.
I gotta say, between O-Dogg and Brother Brian are like the
Oh.
two of the cleanest guys
Yeah.
there. Like the Lysol
The lights,
obviously
yeah.
had to be then assigned by sticker. This is the alt. Leave the you can
This is
take
the cool Lysol.
yeah, and then there's the Kuma one because that's led by Brian. So
Yeah.
that one stays there.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have our own. Don't
It-
try and migrate
it
them.
did kind of bother me when other people started to learn our secrets, and suddenly our Purell just went down to nothing. Like,
They run into the studio, squirt their hands, and run back out. I'm like,
yeah, it's
Hell,
like,
my dear.
no,
Yep,
it's like-
yep.
Good or
Yeah.
bad, we were also pretty close to the front door. So then that also meant as people walked in, that would like beeline,
Yeah.
sanitize, and go on
Yeah.
their way, or
Yeah.
sanitize before they leave. But that
Yeah.
also meant the cleaning staff would also, technically we'd have the freshest vacuum, right? Like if they changed the bag,
Yeah.
ours would have the most suction power because it was the
Yeah.
first stop.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I will tell you some inside information here. Every single meeting, like department head meeting, what we went to, every other station was angling to steal our studio and switch it around.
Really?
I kept finding out because everybody wanted our studio. We're the biggest studio
Yeah.
and we're the coldest studio.
Yeah.
I'm curious to what's occupying the room now.
1059, the basic bitch. I'm saying, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm sorry. No, okay. Let's just jump right into this. Obviously, when the quarantine started to happen, we all got let go, and then a couple weeks later, boom, the format flipped on us.
Yeah, it was like about a month.
And
actually.
I was
Yeah.
surprised, and we can get into all this stuff where I guess most of the people in the building didn't even know that the format was going to flip. That's what I've heard anyway, one way or the
Yeah.
next. What stepped in its place is 1059 The Wave. It's Hawaii's relaxing favorites. Now, I don't hate the format. I don't hate the music, even though it sounds like something in a dentist's waiting room. I don't agree with the choice, obviously, and I find the logic faulty. Yeah, if you could, if just Michael McDonald, some more of that, and then. Yeah, we got a pro singer here. I'm glad we can do. Keep it going. But no, it did start to just really like the first day I tuned in because I actually got the call from you 720. Thank you for that because I just go like, dude, what's going on with the station? Like, have you heard? And I'm like, oh no. So when I finally did get a chance to tune in, the first thing I heard was Phil Collins into Bob Marley into Nat King Cole. And I was like, okay.
Wow, that's pretty.
Are you trying to wrap your head around it too? Because right now, and then it's like the wave, and I'm like, that is the most knee-jerk, basic, uncreative, gimme name that you could possibly give to a radio station in a city next to water. Like it.
Could just call it the rape.
Oh snap!
Raped.
Okay.
You know what, the thing about the format is, and I gotta believe 90% of it is coming from the mainland.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like a piped-in format that someone just massaged in some local hits here and there. And even
I will say that there was a KLE Reichel during the
hey,
I was
there
listening.
You go. That's how you keep it Hawaiian. You gotta throw in one KLE track.
As we all know, there are approximately 5 songs that you can add to make it local.
Yeah, of course. KLE's one of them, bro. You get the pass with KLE, probably.
You know? That's as long as they don't play Utu Bang Bang. I am.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. No cap.
F that song. So glad I'm not part of playing. Oops, sorry.
Well, they're not part either right now. So.
Yeah, there's a little PTSD going on there, I feel.
Hi, Copacabana. How you doing?
What makes me feel like it's a piped-in format is have you guys checked Twitter for the reactions?
Nah.
I've kind of been searching through Twitter for the reactions, and the reactions for the wave are all old white guys going, "Oh, it's a soft AC with a Hawaiian flavor."
Yeah, rock.
That sounds like a ringer. Yeah. That sounds like a plant.
Yeah.
That's when the normal listening audience says that sounds like a soft AC with a Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Like that's I call BS on that whole thing.
That's how I like
the
my
other
barbecue
reactions have been getting. Yeah, the other reactions have been getting on Twitter have been pretty positive though.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, maybe they'll come back and they have the ratings giant that they need. That's hey, I guess more power to them. But
it's interesting that the most. I don't know. The interesting thing is the most angry tweet responses or the most where did alt go responses are coming from like the guys on the other station.
Oh, really? That's funny.
It's interesting that like both Stars Midday Girl and Flash have both tweeted about where'd we go and angry about it.
Well, we might as well talk about interstation rivalry right now, and I'll just say this right now: I like both of them. Flash and Ashley are both awesome people, so hey, cool.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they both of them were like super concerned about where we are, and I got a text from Flash.
Same.
Day of, just checking on how we're doing. So, you know,
wish them nothing but the best. Hopefully they don't get driven.
Yeah, it was kind of like there was no preview. It just happened. You know, there was no building up to it. It just happened. You're like,
there's no K-pop in between.
Nothing. No K-pop in between. It was just pull the Band-Aid off. Like one time, man.
That's the funniest reaction I got was because I was working all day, and we closed up the bar at 8:00, and for takeout, and then I went shopping with my sister, so I got with her, and she listens to the station religiously, and she immediately I get in the car door, and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like I had no clue. Like I had no clue if the format flipped. That was my first actual response of it was getting in my sister's car and going, "What? I don't." And more so, have to answer the question, I don't run that station anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
So I don't know.
Not me.
Now, does anybody else have a massive brick of these now collector's items? Because we can.
By the way, for the
I'm gonna be able to supersize a meal with the eBay money I'm gonna make.
There you go.
Yeah.
I still got the passes for BAMP project. Those cards for the free tickets, free entries. Yeah. So just pass those out anyway. Just give them out.
Just in case this doesn't make it to video, Matt was pointing at the Alt 1059 sticker.
Gotta keep reminding ourselves that. Huh?
Oh, God. Shut up, Endo. Don't tell me what to do. I'm the morning guy. I would like to say thank you so much to O-Dogg for letting me have the morning show because, oh, my God.
Yeah.
That was just an absolute honor, and I loved doing that. I mean, I know we were always kind of on the back foot of hoping that I could get in a partner or something like that, and I would have loved to have continued doing more stuff, but I had a blast for while I was there, man. That was really cool.
Yeah, well, we're really looking into getting Matt another person with him so that we can have some banter on the air, making it feel like a real morning show instead of me having to put a poster on the wall myself, a homemade poster on the wall.
Dude, that was so painful. That was so painful. It was funny as hell. That was
legit, bro.
On but not forgotten. Maybe that's the name of the name of this podcast. I keep calling it Debut Farewell, but maybe it's On but Not Forgotten.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I love the fact that almost everybody, the people in the building that got it, thought it was the funniest thing they've ever seen.
Yeah.
And the people in the building that didn't get it were angrier than I ever expect. Like, I didn't expect that kind of anger level. I was like, it's a joke, guys. And besides, like, I don't want Matt feeling bad when he comes in the next day and like, here's all the morning shows. Except
one show. Like, where's Matt?
Yep.
Matt.
Hey, Shawn, say hi to your co-host there.
Hey. Hey.
Hey, you know what? I do want to say that can we tell him about the idea? One of the ideas that we had for morning show team up.
Yeah, go.
All right, Shawn. We wanted you to be my partner.
I would have loved to.
I really wanted to. I mean, I think the holdup for that might have been was that there are times when we sound a little too much alike. Like jokes wise. There were a couple of commercials that you did where I was like, I don't remember voicing that. And then you would say something with kind of like just enough of a local bend to it where I was like, oh yeah, that's not me. I forgot.
That's not me.
Because I say Olos. I say Olos a lot. And I say
clients pay you to say Olos.
Yeah.
The big holdup was always that they wanted a female partner because they believe traditional morning shows are male-female teams. But I remember when Lori suggested that Shawn and Matt team up, I blurted out in the department head meeting, that's Hawaii's biggest morning show.
Yeah.
That would have been the best.
Itself, you know?
Dude, I would have been on that poster. Yeah, man. That would have been a good poster.
Not enough wall for that poster, though. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't feel bad. The first thing that popped into my head is the poster would have to go landscape instead of
right.
But you already went way past that. So
Have you ever seen a panoramic poster? Yeah.
As much as I'm not like, fat jokes, guys, keep them coming. At the same time, I'm like, I would have loved that just to have gone in for the joke of having one picture that was that like landscape, and I would have taken down every other morning show's poster to hang.
Hell yeah!
Just for the comeback, that would have been
one day. Just hang this huge picture right there. That would have been. Sick.
It would have been above the three posters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Above the three posters.
If it makes
even better.
It makes it feel better about the poster. We took because of Paina, we had the morning show. We had me, Augie, we had Augie, Howdy Girl, and that was it. And then it changed to just two guys, just me and Augie. So I was like, what was the purpose of taking a picture with
what's funny is it took them the longest time to find that you taped little championship belts to the poster.
That was like one of the first things I noticed. I was like, that's rad.
Because I saw it up there, and then one day it was gone. I was like, it took them this long to realize that he hung title belts on the poster.
Hell yeah.
Too good.
I was going to say, those posters, again, if you've never been to the station, are the first thing that you come across when you walk in.
On the right side, After you pass promo. Like, hey! Shout out to everybody at promo, and then boom.
I was giving props to whoever signed off on that ad to the poster, not even knowing it wasn't a sanctioned ad.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God, dude.
All right, so on that note, then, what is everyone's favorite? Should we stick with alt, or we can go with radio overall? What's a favorite memory? Greg, let's start with you.
Alt, and let's go to radio afterwards.
Yeah. Favorite alt memory, and then we can go to alt radio later on. First up, alt.
Not to get all mushy too, though, I would actually say my favorite alt memory is the fact that I was on alt. And I say that because the entire, and I'm going to lump this into, I guess, and it's going to keep do my best to keep this from going super long-winded, but ever since I interned, my thing has always been I'd wanted to be on air, right? And from when I first started interning in 2007 till now. I feel like I've been lucky seeing how many people move around throughout the stations to have been on at one company the entire time. And as you know, you kind of quote unquote grow up, because like after I stopped being an intern and got to be a promo assistant, I was getting paid for it. There was no more interns pretty much after me. Like the whole concept
you're the last batch.
of internship, right, got cut off.
Yep.
And so to learn this, the business ground up, and then get the opportunity to even like, hey, what do you want to do? I want to be on air. Okay, we got to do air checks. And then that's when Brandon Lee was like, okay, we go to a promo event. He's like, here's a mic, here's your talking points. Don't suck, you know, and don't swear. Those are the two. Don't suck and don't swear.
Don't swear. Yeah.
And so, you know, kind of learning through that. Then I got to, you know, the first opportunity was weekends on Bomb. And I got pulled off of that when there was a change in programming. And it just so happens, Rick Thomas goes, hey, you want to kind of do Saturdays on Kumu? Sorry, this answer is actually telling my whole radio story. But
damn, dude. All right.
When I was
It's the
6 years
Endo
old.
show starring Greg. He's Endo.
At the young age of
if the name wasn't already a hint as to what order I should have gone in, the Endo, the show.
Endo.
See, that's where, anyway.
Yeah.
So, reel it back.
Oh,
Okay,
we
see,
finally
see
got
what I
it.
did there?
Hey.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
I
actually,
thought it was
Griffin,
another
oh,
Japanese guy on air, but no,
Yeah.
I got that now. Yeah. Got it.
Fast forwarding ahead is basically always getting opportunities from, like I would have been taken off Quiet Storm when I was on Kumu, and then I would have been jobless. But literally, O-Dogg's like, hey, I need to hire a nighttime guy. You're taking Greg off Quiet Storm. Why don't we just use him on Alt? And as I understand, the story I was told was, wait, can he do Alt? And then the foreground to that was O-Dogg had also given me an opportunity on The Zone, which parallels similar energy and not format, but you know, the concept. So they're like, oh, okay, cool. Kill two birds with one stone. We don't have to hire and train somebody, and we got rid of Greg to give somebody else that stuff.
the other part of that was that they needed to hire a multi talented position. So they needed somebody who was able to do production and do the show.
Right.
And so that's why they wanted to move you around. And Michael, and the thing about everybody in the company was at the time is that they don't want to get rid of anybody. So they're trying to figure out fits and other movements and other things.
Sure.
They're like, oh, can you use Endo? And I'm like, yeah, of course I can use Endo. It'll work. It'll work at night. He's just weird enough to work at night.
Thank you.
Hey, there you go.
No, because I mean,
just weird enough. Can we?
And then no, because Matt, you can attest to this. The night guy's got to be strange.
A little bit, yeah.
Because
there has to be.
It's the weirdest time of day part, because you're just sitting there and you're like talking to people doing their weird things at night. So you got to be a little off your rocker. I learned that from Slash. Hey, buddy.
I feel like there's so much we could talk about just to digress into the Phil Slash area of things. But all right, 720, let's go for you. What's your favorite alt memory?
Oh man, I think it was the first jingle rock run I did with you guys.
Oh yeah.
That one and the one where we're in front of, was it Manifest or one of the bars in the town, smelling like piss behind us. Friggin' homeless guy like 2 blocks up, still smell him. But just the fact it's like I already knew, it's like, oh, we're gonna have fun, because it wasn't just like, hey, Jingle Rock Run Alt 105.9. It's like, hey, free high fives for everybody. Oh, cars, game on. Yeah. Game on. You know, like, dude, I was like, yeah, I'm in the right place. Yeah, okay. If we can make Wayne World jokes and all that, yeah, I'm in the right spot. Yeah, I'm doing all right, yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what I knew.
Mr. B's weird playlist.
Yes, I remember.
He had a weird playlist on that one, but it was awesome though.
You know,
I loved B. He would always bring out something where you're like, am I hearing this right? This is awesome.
For real? Yeah.
Should I be terrified or in love? I don't know. This is great.
Like, B, you trying to tell us something, B? It's a cry for help? No. Okay.
Blink twice if you need a Oh, God.
But yeah,
right.
that first one.
Nice. Sean, what's yours? Favorite alt memory?
I'm going to have to do the lame thing and go with Endo, just being a part. alt.
It is
because I
always
just
lame
think-
to go with Endo.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's why he's a knight. And
He's a nice
Yeah.
guy. Ah, there you go.
He probably does drugs.
Yeah, possible.
But yeah, O-Dogg just came up to me and he's like, "Hey, you want to work on alt?" I'm like, "Okay."
That was a dead-on
Whatever.
O-Dogg
I'm
impression,
already
by
doing
the way.
That's
Best
exactly how I
O-Dogg
sound.
ever.
Yes.
Yeah,
Best O-Dogg ever.
and I think what the coolest thing is, like, everybody loves wrestling. Everybody did the whole wrestling thing. When you see the schedules, I see like Stone Cold Steve Austin on there. I'm like, this freaking place is awesome.
But it's 316. You know what
Everybody-
day it is.
Everybody gets together and we know all the NWO thing and
Oh, hell yeah.
whatever. So like, I think that's what the camaraderie is. We never see each other all the time,
Mhm.
but we see each other with that kind of stuff with the schedule, because we always got to see the
Uh-huh.
schedule. We're like, we're all here. We're all
Yeah, that was always the cool part. Was like what I really loved about this crew is that it always felt like, okay, we already have inside jokes.
Yeah.
Even so,
Yeah.
if we go a long time without seeing each other, it's just immediate pickup, and that was.
And when I
really
see
cool.
when I see Haz-Matt, I'm like, what's up, man? How you doing? We talk like, what, 10, 20 minutes about,
Yeah.
I don't know, farts or whatever. Like, you fart too? I fart too. What kind
There's
of
a lot to
man.
be said on the subject, yes.
Well,
Yes.
sometimes you get a good one, and it's like you don't itch anymore because it burns on the way out. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly. It's the herp-a-lerp. I know.
I got to give a shout out to Augie on this one because he came up to me in the hallway and asked and said, "Hey, Shawn would like to do more. Do you have a spot for him on alt?" And I'm like, "Of course I do.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?" And so if Augie didn't approach me like in the hallway that day, I probably would not have known. So
Yeah.
Augie, that's the good job that he did there.
Yeah,
I know.
one
Right
of the
on,
nicest dudes in the industry, pure and simple,
Mhm.
as far as my experience goes.
But yeah, that's my spiel. I wasn't here for a long time, but I'm just thankful that I did radio. Like, being on the morning show, like waking up early ass in the morning, that sucks. But when you're talking to weird ass people on the radio in the morning, weird ass local people in the morning, all they want to do is talk about Utu bang banging, and like, I was like, yeah, this is the place for me. So then when I'm doing all this, like, oh, I love the music because that's right down my alley. I love all the music. So, not to say that I don't like the music on Paino, but that's a different story altogether.
Right. All right, O-Dogg, as the head of the station, what was your favorite alt memory?
Well, besides getting canned, no.
Hey! All right.
Not just in general, the ability to interact with our fans and our audience and all that other stuff, that was always the best part of the job. So like when we do our meet and greets out at at Republic, and we got extra passes and people are standing in line, I can hook people up. The look on their faces when they get those passes or when they get to meet their favorite artists, all that stuff is just the reason why you get into radio. Also, hearing the other side of it from the record reps about how upset the competition is, that's happy too. They're happy times as well too. But I will say one of the things that I really treasure the most about my time at Alt was just sitting in my office late night with Haz-Matt. He's sitting on the couch, I'm sitting in my office chair, and we're just lobbing ideas about things to do, just back and forth. The creative process of naming. Sometimes we just come up with a name and go, okay, what can we do with that?
Yeah.
We got to do something with it. That's how Locally Sourced came about. Was that we just came up with a name and what can we do with it? It's a good name.
It was a phenomenal name, and so when
Oh,
we were start banding these things, and I came out and I was like, I kind of want to do something with this type of a theme, and he was just like, hey man, the name Locally Sourced is still there and available to us. Let's make a thing out of that, and it kind of repurposed the direction of the idea that I originally had, and so yeah, we sat down and brainstormed and came up with what it was, and man, I have had such an amazing response from that. So
Yeah.
if I can jump in and start sharing mine. It's been stuff like that, doing locally sourced, and then just okay, I don't know, I think I can speak for some of the rest of us when I say it's rather strange to go in, you shout into the microphone, and then you leave. That's kind of what this show was for me for a long time. And so when people would come up and be like, oh my God, it was so funny when this happened, or hey, aren't you, or this is so cool. that always would absolutely floor me. There was one time, I don't know if this guy's going to see it, but I'm going to come clean and confess something here. I was over at Kahala Mall with a friend of mine. We were walking around. I forget which one of the stores we were in, but I was standing there, and I feel like I'm speaking on a theme here, but I like violently crop dusted this aisle, just like horribly, because I just had dinner and was like,
back to the fart.
I violently crop dusted this aisle, and I was trying to walk away as fast as I could, and this guy stopped me and goes, "Hey man, to this morning when you said this," and repeated a joke back to me. He was like, "That was hysterical," and I was like, "Oh, thanks for listening, man." And then he proceeded to turn right down the aisle that I just bombarded, and I was like,
"Oh,
God help me!
Oh my God!
I hope I didn't just destroy a listener." And I
took a piece of you home with him.
Yeah, really.
The next book, Alt went down by 0.01% because that guy could not turn his book in.
Guys, I think we figured it out. Why the numbers were never there is I kept crop dusting our listeners. Why did I say that story? Oh God!
A couple days ago, I'm at the bar, and we're two guys come in for takeout food and everything else, and I got my mask on, and so no one can really tell what's going on. But they're talking about how they miss hearing Haz-Matt in the mornings on the radio. I kid you not, this actually happened. This guy was telling me, and he's like, what happened to that station? So I took my mask off. He goes, "Oh, you're O-Dogg."
Yeah, what happened to that station, O-Dogg?
I was like, yeah, that was my station. And they're like, oh.
Anyway, I also want to point out, if this video doesn't go live, that O-Dogg has the Jericho ponytail on, and I think that's why they didn't recognize him with the mask on in the first place. So,
true.
Just in case.
I was wearing head-to-toe Red Sox gear, so I'm sure they would have noticed me with the mask on.
Oh yeah.
True.
So I always did love I always loved the reaction from locally sourced and just people coming up and like. Maybe the numbers weren't there, so maybe we didn't have legions of fans, but damn it, the fans that we had were like, came up and were like, "I loved this," and they could tell us back, like, "This is what I remember." I was like, that is the biggest compliment, and it's so strange for me to hear, but it's honestly, it's like, I'm so ridiculously flattered, and I don't want to get an ego about this, but I do want to say thank you. And then on another level, I do have to say, it's been at Alt where I've met some of the most amazing people. Like, if you had a dream list of celebrities and stuff, I gotta say, I've been able to meet some pretty phenomenal people. Kevin Eastman, one of the creators of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that blew me away. The like Tara Strong and like all these people. Meeting Sting.
Oh, Sting photos are the best.
Sting's coming.
Oh my
Sting's so amazed to meet me. I was like, yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny that when I announced to all of y'all that Sting was coming, you guys couldn't figure out if it was the wrestler. Everybody went to Steve Borden. Yeah.
Okay.
In fairness, I think we would have been equally excited.
Yeah, just as excited, man.
I was kind of bummed, like it was the thing from Police. I was like, because the downstairs, Ricky was like, "Did you know Sting is up there?" I'm like, "Sting? Like
Stinger?"
It's like, "No, Sting, like the Police." I'm like, "Oh."
Like Gordon from the Police, guys.
It's kind of like you wanted a teriyaki musubi from 7-Eleven, but it's a regular musubi. So like,
it's still a musubi, so it's still good. You're not complaining.
It's not teriyaki.
That was a joke specifically for Brett O'Brien, and I appreciate that.
That man owns the biggest piece of stock in 7-Eleven or something, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah, he once told me that the best pork hash is at 7-Eleven. I'm like, what kind of Asian are you, man? I'm like, I see your card, bro.
Hold on. I gotta add this personal Brother Brian story out because apparently this is where we're going with this.
We're gonna tag him so he hears this.
Yeah, I went to go have sushi with the guy, and true to your, let me see your Asian card. We're sitting there and it's like, oh, here, pass the shoyu, put some wasabi in, you mix it together, and I'm, take your standard maybe dime size dollop, put in the shoyu and the thing. I swear, Brian did the other way around and put like wasabi with a dime-sized shoyu, and it wasn't dipping your sushi in shoyu with wasabi. It was applying the wasabi paste
with the shoyu.
with a little bit of shoyu onto the sushi, and he just ate it and like no reaction. And I'm like,
bruh. Well, he's part Korean, so that's yeah. That's probably why. Like the man can probably.
Certain level of respect to that. I mean, I don't think it's right, but it's all right. I guess.
You know, but if you follow the guy on social
horrifying,
media,
but you know,
but it's okay. Yes.
If you follow the guy on social media, otherwise, when he's not creating wasabi paste, it's spinach.
Bondo.
No, it's spinach. He bundled his
tofu.
It's spinach tofu salad with that's swimming in ranch.
Yeah.
So he has a thing for the condiments, apparently.
The finer things in life, because this is my theory. This is why he hosts so many weddings. I believe he eats great at every job event that he does, and then the rest of it comes from 7-Eleven. That's
you know what I realized? It's everything that's free. So the wasabi, they don't charge you for the wasabi at the sushi joint, and then he never
Who's
shows.
going to take an ice cream scooper of this? No one.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
and then
that is
when
true
it comes
though.
to the dressing, I'm sure he doesn't have a bottle of ranch dressing. It's just the amount of packets that he's stashed away. That's why he's so liberal.
It's all buttermilk sauces from Jack in the
Box.
Box.
Oh my goodness!
The first two people in the break room to get all the free stuff, Brother Brian and Fat Joe. Like I'd be sitting in my office having a conversation with Joe, and someone would come over and goes, "Oh, there's like free cookies in the stuff," and he'd stop mid conversation and go run to get the cookies.
Dang!
Like he was dead serious about all the freebies that we get.
Wow!
Respect.
I stole
I gotta
some
say,
plates.
one of the coolest things that we did between Matt and I was the Rocking Dead thing.
Oh my God! Yes.
That was one of the most creative concepts I've ever done in my life, and that was because Haz-Matt, had the ability to come and kind of help me shape that thing together.
That was our. Here's a collection of songs that the listener votes on right around Halloween, which was also the premiere of the latest season of Walking Dead, which is the introduction of Negan when he was killing people. So that was our thing. We were like, all right, listener vote. Which of these songs is going to be the song that we brutally murder and never play again?
Nice.
Which one won? Was it Behind Blue Eyes or was it?
Yes, that was the one that got the least amount of vote, the most votes to get killed. And timing it right before the premiere of Walking Dead starts.
Yeah,
was the genius of it.
Yeah, we played it. We did the announcement, and then like what was it? 15 minutes later or something was the start of the episode.
Yeah,
it was awesome. That was
and our voice guy Ryan, who's amazing.
Oh yeah, shout out to him.
Shout out to the voice guy.
Yeah.
For real. That voice
Ryan
guy.
Dream.
We should have invited him to be on this show because he was basically the extra DJ.
Next episode.
Yes.
That guy
we can get him on at all.
He does these all the time. Well, but he was just really enthused and into that one. I think that one, when we did the Star Wars one, his imaging for that one was incredible.
Oh, yep.
Speaking of Star Wars, can we talk about the first time we asked for anything from Ryan and we both got scared? Because we called Alt 1059 a den of scum and villainy, or a hive of scum and villainy, or whatever it was.
Sure.
And he wrote back and he was like, I'm sorry, I don't get this. Is this a reference to something? And we could we'd never worked with him before, so we didn't know. We were like, oh God, is that sarcasm? Is that a joke? Or did we pick the wrong person? We're like, oh God, what?
Our hearts sank a little bit.
Yeah.
It sank a little bit there.
And then he basically Babe Ruthed us, or White Men Can't Jump us, or whatever. But he just kept like, from then on, it was just constant wins. It was beautiful.
Very good, girl.
I loved our Top 8 Friends weekend. I thought that was fun to do.
That was so great. The visuals of the top 8s was so great. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Bring that back. Oh.
All right, should we open this up then for radio overall? What has been your favorite memory from radio overall up to this point? Because you never know what could come next.
Oh yeah,
sure.
True.
Don't pick me first.
No, I'm not. 720. Let's go with you first.
Probably my most favorite, like up as of when we left, was actually being able to do mix shows on 3 stations at the same time. for
Nice.
Bomb,
Yeah.
Paina, and Alt. Thanks to O-Dogg for letting me do a mix show on Alt. And
Dude,
then,
those mixes are incredible.
They were.
thank you. And then the fact that we got to, since we had the merger, was to call on our friend DJs from the Outer Islands. So for Paina and Alt, we had mixers from the Big Island, mixers from Maui submitting mixes as well. So we made it a whole Hawaii thing. And
By the way, I just want to point a small correction that I was actually corrected on in my travels. It's actually the neighbor islands because they are neighbors. Outer. Implies they're outside the inside circle of which you're in.
Okay.
Is
So
that like we're not
part of
allowed to say the mainland because that denotes that it's better in some way? We're supposed to say the continent?
I was
Yes,
gonna go-
it's similar,
Gotcha.
yes.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Not part of the inner circle at all, no.
No.
Yes.
As king of the
Yeah.
whites, I hereby decree that we shall change it to the continent.
The continental U.S. So
Well,
our
I'll say
neighbor
we had-
island-
We had the most talented mix show roster
Hell yeah.
out there.
Hell
And but along with that, one of the ideas, and I can share, this is one of the things I was actually approaching to do, was I was trying to get Joe Hahn from Linkin Park to do a guest set.
That was gonna be fucking.
That would be
Sorry,
that
it was
would've
gonna be
been-
amazing. That was gonna be amazing.
Yeah. But
hell yeah.
of course we went off the air. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably my best memory ever, being able to do 3 mix shows at the same time on 3 different stations within
That's
the same
pretty
radio group.
impressive.
Because I don't think that's ever been done. I don't know if that ever had.
No, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, and then, by the way, shameless plug, Johan, if you're happen to be listening to this, we're still down for a mix. We'll just
Oh hell yeah.
But
Yeah, just send it to us anyway.
and actually, I got to say, whenever I came out of a Linkin Park song, not every single time, I did throw a shout out in case, in the off chance he was listening to this. So
What's up, Johan?
just in case.
Yep.
The funny thing is that when we did the top 8 stuff, I think both times I had to tell Greg, you can't just pick every Linkin Park song.
So.
And Greg's like, challenge accepted.
I'll take Linkin Park featured songs.
This is Linkin Park, and this is Linkin Park with Jay-Z, and this is...
No, see that? I was just gonna say that. I look at the list for when we have when we had the remix format right during the weekend segment.
Yeah.
And it's like it's all the remixes or duets or collabs. And then I see in there he puts in the Linkin Park and Jay-Z Collision Course cut. And I'm like, hey, thanks. I see what you did there. O-Dogg knows I like hip hop. And I'm like, see, you get the best of both worlds there.
Yeah.
Hashtag not Miley Cyrus.
Yep.
Oh,
And we had House of Pain on Alt. That's all I gotta say. House of Pain was on Alt, yo. That's all
that
I
was
gonna
awesome.
say.
I was
I loved
hoping we
it.
had Weird Al. Weird Al.
That's one of my greatest regrets overall is that I've never been to a Weird Al concert. And I'm like the biggest Weird Al fan.
Yeah.
Love that dude, and one of these days, man.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Hell yeah. Okay.
All
yeah,
right,
I'm good.
so Shawn, you want to share your favorite radio memory of all, not alt, but of all time for you?
I'm gonna have to say when we got free tickets to go see Avengers Endgame. And I saw you there, and I was over there, and we watched it, and I should have been sitting next to you, Matt. You
Right,
because
because we would have been gleefully hugging the entire time, I think. But-
because when Cap picked up the hammer, I was in the back.
okay,
And I would have been like, that way, and I would have just made a lot of noise. I think that's probably one of the coolest things. I think, just getting tickets to go see badass, movies. I was like, wow.
I still watch the reaction videos of that moment now, and I will roll a tear. Like I watch it, I'll be like, no, I'm not gonna cry this time. And then it happens, and I'm just like, because he's worthy, and we're worthy as an audience, and it's so beautiful. And
and then you watch Age of Ultron, and he's like, he moved it a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. That's okay.
He knew that Thor knew, and then Thor said, "I knew it." That's probably a cool moment in alt history.
Oh
there you
yeah.
go. O-Dogg, how about you? In all of radio history for you, what has been your favorite?
My very first year in radio, we teamed up. I was working on Jam in 93.1. And I was interning, and we teamed up with Power 106 in LA to present Chronic Island. Now it's the first time Dre and Snoop They were fighting for a while. They got back together.
I'm sorry,
So-
Dre and Snoop. I don't. No, I'm kidding.
King of the Whites, yeah, you know.
Yeah, King of the Whites. You gotta know. You gotta know.
I don't
So
have
the
them
first-
on my mixed disc.
The first concert we ever put out for that station was we did this at the Hilton Hawaiian Village Ballroom. It was Dre and Snoop, Eminem, Warren G, Nate Dogg, Exhibit.
Wow.
And as an intern, we're just sitting there, we're chilling with like Too Short and Crazy Bone, and I'm like, this is what radio is like, you know? It's gonna be
It
pretty
ruined
awesome.
you right off the bat.
Yeah.
I feel like they
suck
all
that
would have
in,
arrived at the venue like Goku and Dragon Ball, just riding the cloud. Like,
Oh, believe me, there were clouds on
Yes, I'm
clouds
sure
in
there
that
were.
room that day. Actually, the funniest thing is watching the undercover police officers that are on the side doing security kind of freak out a second when everybody's throwing joints up at Snoop Dogg. That was the funniest thing to me. But yeah, that had to be that. And shout out to Jackie G for that opportunity.
nice.
Oh, dude, nice.
Endo,
That
you
is
want
pretty
to?
epic.
Can you keep it kind of brief or?
Yeah, sure. You know,
When I was 7 years old,
Yeah.
I was born at an early age.
and
Well,
radio was
okay.
my calling as soon as I came from the womb.
I gotta say, similar to the overall thing of like, I think O-Dogg had mentioned, like, you know, getting to interact with fans or, you know, listeners, you know, and I would say fans of me, fans of whoever we're presenting concerts and, you know, fans at the movie premieres. I literally can't pick just one. There's it in making me think about this, and thank you for giving me time to do so. I would just cap it as, I remember promotions used to be a lot more fun when I guess we had interns and there was a lot more wild cards that would come through the door.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it would always make going out to be the face of radio to the public a lot more interesting. And the interaction is what was really awesome. And, you know, it any kind of fandom, like before the Avengers thing started picking up, I remember we did a premiere at Ward Theaters for, I don't remember which one, but one of the Harry Potters, you know, and then, you know, that type of fandom where everybody's their house that they get sorted in and everyone thinks they're this house. And we had like these contests with, you know, lines running all the way down the stairs, down Oahe Street and everything. You know, not the actual concert because I didn't go to it, but the Bieber concert, like just the fact that you have that many
Don't
people,
lie.
captive
It's not a good look.
captive audience, you know, that kind of stuff was actually like my favorite. The one thing I never thought I'd get to do though is like kind of host a concert, you know, and I mean, the one thing that I was taught to when emceeing, it doesn't matter if it's like 3 people there or 300, like your energy and
Unless
what
you
you're
wanna
doing
stick your head
is the
in
same,
his
right?
face.
And I would, you know, I'd be hype about, hey, Kristen, I would be hype about her face coming through the smoke of the club.
Sorry, guys. My wife
no,
just
no.
came home with some dinner.
I thought it was something out of the Ring for a second. I was just concerned.
They're like, they seen your head pop out. They're like, oh, hun, there's like the ring over there. It's like, okay.
All right, everybody,
It was-
7 days. Have fun.
Yes. Woohoo! Yeah, it was actually Ladies of the 80s was the one that I got.
Nice.
I got
Oh.
like that was it was literally the biggest crowd that I had like talked in front of, and I was sharing the stage with Rick Rock, so I mean like, you know, I'm not the guy there, but the fact that I was talking to like these thousands of people, and by the way, at that point I would give the biggest shout out to the fact that Mandy was busy that night, Devin was busy that night, and I guess Michael T didn't want to do it. So thereby, they had the Quiet Storm guy go out there and yell at people energetically. So
It's the Quiet Storm.
Very aggressive.
Ladies.
Just very aggressively trying to soothe you.
Yeah. Soft,
Calm
warm,
the
Quiet Storm.
fuck down.
All right, Haz-Matt, what about you? What's your favorite memory in radio?
I got to do a couple quick ones. The first one, my first day in radio was to go down to the Hilton Hawaiian Village
Chronic
at
Island.
5 in the morning.
Oh.
Nope. To do the world's largest Mai Tai.
Oh,
I spent 14, 15 hours, like dumping mixer and vodka or whatever, just anything that we had, just dumping it all into this giant vat.
Wow.
And we failed, but no one cared because everybody was so far gone. And that was one of my like, wow, that was.
I remember drinking so many Mai Tais that day.
It was amazing.
Scarred me for life.
Yeah. So that was one, and then shortly thereafter, there was a promotional event that no one wanted to do. They're like, we just, I don't even know who this band is. What are we going to do with it? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, why? What's the band? What do you need to do? Just somebody to put up posters, and I was new. They weren't sure if they wanted to give it to me, and they were like, and I was like, who's the band? And they're like, Dropkick Murphys. And I'm like, give it to me.
Yeah.
And that was the first event I ever promoted by myself. It also it was at World Cafe, and it became this massive riot because at the end of the show, two competing tattoo stores and all of their friends and crews started to fight. And Nikki Robinson was the PD at the time when I first started at the old 97.5 K-Poi. And she and I were backed into a corner, and she was like, I don't know if we're going to be able to get out of here in time. So I basically had to look at one of those big circular stand-up bar tables that Worlds had. I pushed it over with all the glass and bottles and drinks and everything on it. I pushed it over, and I basically held it up and had to use it as a battering ram to keep people away. And I was like,
awesome.
I'm in radio now.
Yeah. That was,
on that note, the other time I guess I really felt like I'm in radio because was the night that 97.5 K-Poi died. It was the Blink-182 concert. And we were all told, O-Dogg, you can speak more to what happened, but we were all told, like, all right, we all knew that it was ending, everything like that, but we didn't know exactly when. We thought it was going to be like at midnight, Sunday night. So we were all going to get together as a crew and do a farewell. We had all promised that we weren't going to crack the mic and start swearing or anything like that. Like, can we just do this and just say a goodbye? Like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, you can do that. That's fine. That's fine. So we all went to this last thing on Friday evening. It was a Blink-182 concert. I got to meet Blink-182.
Dope.
It was super awesome for that. One of my friends, the intern, it was Lay. He was standing there, and Mark Hoppus signed his T-shirt. And Lay's like, I'm never going to wash this again. And I looked at him and I go, damn it, I'm going to have to smell you. And Mark Hoppus turned and said, that was pretty funny. And I went from being like, oh, I'm there, to being like, Mark Hoppus said I was funny. Like, I was riding high on the night. Like, I was feeling good. And then suddenly people started walking around being like, the station just went dead. The station just went dead. And they had killed the station when they knew that all of the jocks would be at the concert and nowhere near the studio. They went out of their way to do that, and that really hurt. And seeing as how the first time you are really fired or have a station dead from underneath your feet, that's when you know you're in radio. That's what I was always told. So that was when I was like, I'm now really in radio.
Also, I will say, because I was emceeing live that day at the Blaisdell, and I turned around to Dave, my assistant, punk ass, if listening out there probably. I turned to him, I go, where's the music? And we had just been shut off live in front of like thousands of people.
Wow.
We had people lined up looking to get swag, looking to talk to us, all this kind of stuff. Like, it was our crew. All the audience was there, and it was just gone.
And I will say the first two people to come and offer me condolences and check up on how I was doing, the first two people that day from the competition was Maleko and Christine. Both of them came over right away, and it was like, are you okay? We just heard you're all right. And my first thought was to find Phil Slash, because I was worried about his well-being more than anybody else. But
very true.
That was actually an interesting fact. The last song ever played on 97.5 K-Poi was Anthem of Our Dying Day.
What? Story
of the year.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. That brings the meaning to that song for me now.
They could not have picked a more appropriate song to pull the plug to.
Wow.
Crazy.
But so there was that, and then I will throw it over to one time when I was at Star. They let me host a couple of shows. There was 2 different band camps, I think. 2 different band camps, and one of them, it was nice because it was in front of a crazy amount of people over at the Shell, but the one that really sticks out was one that we did at the Blaisdell. I was supposed to get up, and because I was the midday guy, I was up to introduce like the first band, and it was Aaron's group from Maui called the Throwdowns. I really dug them there. He's like, you're going to get up there, you're going to do it. Awesome. So I go up there with one of the other DJs, my friend Kevin Jones, and I was like, dude, are you a fan of professional wrestling? And he goes, kind of. And I was like, could you just follow my lead then? And he goes, okay. Because he didn't really know what to do or want to do. He was like, I don't know. So that was my chance in front of, 7,000 people or something like that. I got to do the New Age Outlaws intro in front of everyone. That was one of my moments. That, and then of course meeting Sting. I got to say that because
that's awesome.
Not that Sting. Not that Sting.
But no, yeah, it was to basically like to do the full New Age, like, you damn right, and no one knew what was going on. No one at the station was a fan, and they just and like I went back to sit down with them, and they were like, okay, so that was a thing. And everybody in the audience wasn't, but there was like little pockets of people that were like, yeah, and I was like, this is for you.
Yeah.
This is for you 5 people.
Those little
for the 5
pockets
people.
right there. Yep, that's who you're doing it for.
Like if I had been surrounded by this crew, I'd have been like, just to be
just for those 5 people, and that's the story of our station there.
It's me, HAZMATT. Just like I went for it. I went for it. It was
that's the only way you do it, though.
Yeah, you
man.
had to.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Well, now I know. I regret coming back. I wish we could come out to the Val Venus intro now.
Hello.
Oh my God, no.
I did that for I used that for Fernando's thing.
Yeah, I
Fernando
remember.
was in the Walk of Shame. I used that for his Valentine's Day.
Boom, 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 boom.
I think we have topics for the next episode.
Yeah.
What entrance song would you come out to?
Oh God.
Oh.
Save it. File. Save.
Yep.
Think about it now.
Yeah.
Sure, you all know mine already.
I have 2 that
Stacey
would make
Keebler,
the
got it.
cut. Well, those are some nice legs.
The fabulous Moolah. There you go.
Oh man. So
that moment when you see somebody recall the fabulous moolah in their head.
The hand.
yeah, the hand. What the?
Oh.
All right, they're not all good memories, guys.
No.
Oh man. So okay, what about your show do you miss doing the most? 720. We'll start with you.
What about the weekend show? Probably. And this is the part that you guys didn't like, but I liked it. Was my lame joke of the week. I love my lame jokes of the week. None of y'all did. I love my lame jokes of the week. My wife is giving me the side eye right now. That was the lame jokes of the week, man. That was my best. That was my fun part.
I'd be tag teamed by those jokes between you and Brother Brian.
Oh yeah.
Like the better part of a day, I'd hear both of you guys going off on it. So I'd be like, come on.
Lame joke of the week, man. Telling you, that was the best part. I loved it. all 5 people who were listening at the time.
At least they're listening.
At least they're listening. At least they had a joke to tell at a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, what about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh God, I really don't know. I mean, me doing like a Dusty Rhodes, American Dream Dusty Rhodes or something. Just like going off on a tangent, like, oh, this is what I did last night. I shouldn't have had those tacos. Those tacos with me. And they gave me the worst gas I ever had. You know, that kind of stuff.
I gotta say, as a fan of Sean's show, I always loved it when he would crack the mic and be like, "All right, you nerds, Listen up, you nerds. Or when he'd
Yeah.
sign off, be like, all right, coming up next, I got some Linkin Park, you nerds.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
that's so good.
Yeah, like
You
I
were
would
a
say
personal.
because I got that from Friends with Nerds, or I got that
Yeah.
from Good Brothers. 'cause
Good
they
Brothers,
say,
right? Good Brothers.
That's right. Nerds.
Yep.
You were a personal favorite of our IT guy, our engineer. Yeah, Aaron loved you. He would always come up. He would always come up to me like, "Shawn sounds so good right now. He sounds so good."
He does. You sounded crazy natural. Like I think
I
the
wish-
rest of us had this nice like, this is how we're speaking and we're on the air. But man, Shawn, when you cracked the mic, I was like, I feel like we just dropped into a conversation he was already having.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was really well done.
Yeah.
Because I'll
wish I
also
knew
say this, I'll dovetail on this. October of last year, I did get a chance to go out to LA for a little while. And that's where my main competition is broadcast out of. Like that's where the Woody show is from. And then that's where world famous K-Rock is, like all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I am listening to all of them to try and figure out what it is that they've got. And after extensive research, I can honest to God tell you with 100% certainty, I have no clue because they do nothing that sets them apart as being these amazing talents. And I'm like, I hear that in our guys. Like I hear that in us. Like what is the weird circumstance and happenstance that led it to being they're so like king of the hill?
Because they have money. They have money.
They fell into the
your
right
audience.
company.
The mainland.
I don't know.
Mainland. That's what it is.
Continental.
Continent, yes.
Oh, sorry.
The
Continent.
delegation has reminded me.
The continental U.S.
Delegation.
Yeah, but I gotta say to each of you guys, like you all sounded good, and that was one of the good things.
Oh man.
I think what it was is just farting around, just like introducing stuff. If you have something on your brain, because that's in the morning show. That's what it is. Like we never had an outline or whatever. We just go with the flow, and whatever dumb stuff comes to your brain, you just you just say it. If it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well. If it does, there'd be a couple people out there laughing. So that's probably what it is. That's I think live music. If you say something stupid after a song, someone laughs and nobody laughs. At least one person did. You capture one person. So yeah, that's what I got.
O-Dogg, how about you? What do you miss doing about your show?
I miss breaking new music.
Yeah,
I really do. Because there's a lot of great artists out there that I don't think are getting pushed and getting their music heard by a lot of people. And I kind of miss that. I also miss yelling about Weezer all the time. about ending up a break with "It's the greatest band in the world, Weezer."
And I gotta say again, just to throw out there credit where credit is due, O-Dogg, you have like a crazy level of knowledge and research when you go into selecting songs and doing all this stuff. Like it always come out, did you know this and this and this and this? And I would be like, no, I didn't. I didn't know any of that. That was amazing. Some of it, like, be like, I can follow that trail, and then you go off about 17 other things, and I'm like, that's awesome because I don't.
I gotta add to that and say, out of all the stations, Bomb, Kumu, and what have you, spending time at each of those stations, I've never had as many conversations about the music than I have at Alt. Like the people that I see, whether it's friends or coworkers outside of the station that are like, oh, dude, like, what was that song on Alt that you were playing around this time and whatever? And then I have to kind of go back and like look and I'm like, oh, I can't tell somebody, hey, new song, sing me a couple bars, right? But I'd go back and look and they're like, oh, where'd that come from? And I'm like, so I was talking to my program director and he was telling me about this, that, and so I'm just saying like not only the knowledge, but the breadth and the, like, being able to pick up like what this song is going to be popular or this song will connect with people. And having that music been played and then having the ability to have conversations with people about it is one of the things that I miss, but then also ties to how awesome O-Dogg is.
Right.
To me, it was once Lorde hit, and she hit big, that opened up the genre to be pretty much anything it wanted it to be. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what everybody was doing, finding whatever thrown against the wall. I remember talking with my boy Kurt from Interscope, and him going, "We got this artist. We're trying to work her on the pop side. We don't know what to do with her. She might be alternative. Listen to this song by Billie Eilish."
Oh yeah.
Then I went, no, that's a hit. That's a hit alternative song. It's some things are no brainers, you know. But that's what I miss too. Is at that point she wasn't getting radio play. I miss being able to give radio play to people like that who are obviously talented and are going to be destroying the world, which she pretty much is.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Hey, Haz-Matt, I gotta get going.
Oh, all right,
yeah,
dude.
I'm so sorry, guys.
We gotta make doodle.
No, I gotta go. Wait.
The other one.
How's this, bro?
Yeah, you're about to have to make doo-doo.
Actually, let's let this be the wrap up right here.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Spinach artichoke dip.
I will say this. Then the thing that I have missed so much is probably just car thoughts. That's what I get comments on the most. So I really loved it. Now I love being able to do all of the headlines and all of the weird stuff, because my show is like, they can find, or they're going to get bombarded with crazy ass, depressing, hard hitting news. And I will go over the required necessary points so that everyone stays informed. But I would much rather give them, be like, do you know how awesome this is, or how really messed up this is, just to give them something from a different perspective. Yeah. But it's the just car thoughts that people still come up to me about. I miss just car thoughts. And I'm like, maybe I just need to record 7 or 8 of those a day and just like send those out into the ether or something. That, and of course, locally sourced.
Yeah,
that's been a big one.
I miss not having enough material to do on a constant basis. Old guys kicking ass.
Dude, that's my that is my all-time favorite. Yes, I love old people kicking ass. Every now and then I'd have to flip it if there was a little kid and I could do little kids kicking butt. But old people kicking ass was amazing, because that you could bust out old-timey radio voice and that kind of a thing. and only a few people caught this. I will say that I have some savvy listeners. Only a few people caught this. The music bed that played under that bit every time I did it was the theme to Jurassic Park. And I would time it so that every time I said, like, congratulations, Ethel, or, you know, whatever it was to wrap it up, it was always when that big, and so few people caught on to that, but they were like, are you singing, or you have a song about dinosaurs with old people kicking us? I'm like, yes, I do. Yeah, thankfully someone picked up on that. All right, so let's wrap that up, this one. And hey guys, if you can find some time, how about we do this on a regular basis? Let's do another one of these.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right, sounds good. Anything that you want to pitch out real quick as we start to hang up? What are you guys up to now?
Well, for me, like I said, still working essential worker for the YMCA. It's a substance abuse treatment counselor. You know, still doing that.
Wow, you had to go and get all respectable on us there.
Oh yeah, I had to. Sorry, guys. So, but looking to change careers, because I'm finding out that working one job in Hawaii is tough. So, definitely gonna be looking to probably go state or federal work now after this. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Staying home and working.
O-Dogg, what about you? What are you up to?
Just trying to keep the bar, 9th Avenue Rock House, afloat during this time. All my chosen professions of radio and bartending are now non-essential. So just trying to keep that up and running, you know?
Yep.
Sean?
You make some good foods, though, bro.
Yep. Thank you, brother.
Oh, man, I got to come by and pick some up. Every time you post pictures or of the menu, and I'm just like, damn it, I already had dinner set for tonight, but I got to come by. All right, Sean, what are you up to? Where can people find you?
You know, on Instagram, making my stupid videos. If I'm watching Over the Top, or I'm watching, I don't know, some other 80s flick. I'm just at home on my couch.
All right, follow Hawaiian Dude 77 so that you can see, like, your intros, your television intros that you redo are friggin' hysterical, brother.
I'm trying to do more, but you know, hey, this COVID thing just gives me a lot of time. So
yeah.
Sean, I thought of you the other night because I was flipping through in my HBO accounts and they had No Holds Barred.
Oh, I watched it like a week ago.
I knew it.
All right, Greg, where can people find you?
Still doing my outside gig, sales rep for architectural products for my company. So I've actually had that just under the same amount of time that I've been in radio. So everyone, like even people at the
calm
station
down.
were like,
they can only throw so many underwears at you.
Yeah, right. No, I like I don't know, the guys, people at the station, the salespeople were like, "Wait, so what do you do?" And I'm like,
Your job, but better. No, I'm kidding.
different, not better, just different, because it's harder to sell radio, which is intangible,
I give
versus
them
what I'm
credit for
selling
that.
is a physical thing, right? So
Yep.
I give them
to
credit.
the salespeople for that.
And that's why I never actually got into doing radio sales for that reason. Yeah. Oh, and then also shout out to 9th Ave Rock Grill, because O-Dogg knows this.
Yes.
I don't want people jamming up 9th Ave Rock Grill, but I do want it to keep going, because as a direct result of O-Dogg's eccentric karaoke collection, there is, and I'm not just talking about hip hop, there's like any sort of genre of songs that I'm like, I don't even know somebody made a karaoke version of this to play. And not only that, I give credit because as he's searching for these and other random people make them, the timing is not crappy either. Because you could get like somebody making their own hip hop, whatever, and the timing's all off.
I strive for quality, man. I strive for quality.
So anyway, when
what
all
are
this
the weirdest
thing goes away,
yeah, what are the weirdest songs we know we have? The weirdest songs we know. I have no idea why there's a karaoke version of this. The theme from 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh.
Like, why is there a karaoke version of that? Although, the whole time I'm just Ric Flairing it up, So.
Yeah.
All right, and for me,
what are you up to?
I have a respectable job, but I'm not going to go into all of that because that's not fun. Find me at imakereality.com. I do YouTube videos. iMakeReality is my name on pretty much every social, so if you want to find me, cool. Love to see you around. And hopefully that's where we can host this, the video version of this. I'll make sure that all this gets posted up. And, man, thank you all. I appreciate it. It's good to hang out with you guys again.
Yeah, if you do the video thing, though, can you edit out the parts where I'm shirtless and butt naked? That
We don't
appreciate it. Thank you.
None of that. Yeah.
No.
How will we draw viewers in?
No.
Yeah, we could do a stick figure.
No, draw.
Yeah, hey, I know you got this videotape of the Super Bowl, but could you edit out the nip slip? Like, no.
Yeah.
We'll do.
She knew. You know she knew. She just casually was wearing her freaking gold sunburst nipple pasty that day. Like,
exactly.
That's another topic.
And you don't
come another day.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm wearing mine, but that's because I'm ready.
Yes. See, that's how you know she knew.
All right, guys, you have an awesome day. We will check back in with you again.
Hell yeah.
This has been the debut. Oh, there you go. This has been the debut farewell. It is the Alt Podcast. We will be back. All right. Take care, guys.
All right.
Have a good one,
guys. You too.
Bye.
See ya.
Later.
And there you have it, the first ever ALTcast. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know. Can we keep doing more of these for you? We'd love to do it. If we can line everything up, we'd be more than happy to. So let us know. All right. Until the next of many, hopefully. Alt is dead. Long live Alt.